The king tide, the highest tide of the year, hit the seacoast around noontime today. NH1 meteorologist Ryan Breton was there watching the rising floodwaters.
In just a matter of minutes this morning, water flowed into the Back Bay neighborhoods of Hampton as the king tide reached its peak.
It comes up very, very quick. I mean, 1 minute you can look out and see a little tiny trickle, and then all of a sudden your whole front yard's just flooded.
Low-lying parts of the seacoast became inundated with water, well over a foot deep in places. Though this tide definitely caused some problems today, it brought lots of people outside to check it out. In Seabrook, the rising floodwaters did not stop some from getting around.
It's in our blood. We're out checking it out.
But lunch outside, certainly not a possibility today. At the shoreline, waves crashed into the North Beach seawall, but were not as intense as the waves during October's king tide, when a storm offshore caused even higher surf.
We heard it was a king tide today. This is supposed to be high tide, and we're disappointed. We thought there'd be water coming over, we'd be getting all wet.
But the scene was impressive enough to stop some who were out in the middle of their daily walk.
Whenever there's a storm out in the ocean, a few miles out, the waves are huge.
As the water recedes, homeowners in this neighborhood are looking ahead to the next high tide.
Every time we get a bad storm, it comes up.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't know the water's there.
In Hampton, Ryan Breton, NH1 News.
I was proud of our Republican friends across the aisle who joined with us in defeating right to work.
The State House Democratic leader talking with NH1 News after today's crucial showdown over the much argued about right to work bill. Political Director Paul Steinhauser has our report tonight.
This is not what some have described as union busting.
State House of Representatives Majority Leader Dick Hinch making the case for the right to work bill. The measure, which last month passed the state Senate, would allow non-union members in unionized workplaces to stop paying union fees for negotiations on their behalf. 28 states currently have such laws, but none in New England. Supporters of the bill say right to work will make New Hampshire more competitive in attracting companies to the state.
We've seen 3 additional states pass right-to-work legislation: West Virginia, Kentucky, and Missouri. Let's make New Hampshire the 29th state and the only state north of Virginia without forced unionism.
But those opposed argue it's a union-busting bill.
It's a tired bill. It's an old bill. It doesn't work for the people that have enacted it, and there is a ring of steel that we must preserve in the Northeast.
A handful of Republicans joined the chamber's minority Democrats in sinking the measure, and then voted to postpone or kill the bill for 2 years.
193 voting in the positive, 184 voting in the negative. The motion passes.
Republican Governor Chris Sununu, a big supporter of the bill, said after the vote, "I am deeply disappointed by the House's failure to pass right to work." State Rep Fred Doucette of Salem, a leading Republican who voted against the bill, told NH1 News about his conversation with the governor.
He expressed how important it was to him. So we agreed to disagree, but I was just trying to be upfront and, let him know what my position was, and it wasn't going to change.
The big question going forward, how much of a defeat was this politically for Governor Chris Sununu? At the State House, I'm NH1 News Political Director Paul Steinhauser.
Man, we love you guys. Thank you for your support. One more game. So we're going to do our best, but we appreciate the way they've been behind us all season long.
The New England Patriots are heading to Super Bowl 51 after defeating the Pittsburgh Steelers last night 36-17. Jennifer Courier was there and tells us how the players reacted to the big win.
Confetti rained down at Gillette Stadium as the Patriots became AFC champions. They took down Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers and are going to the Super Bowl. It was a star-studded celebration as reality set in and the Patriots broke form and let loose to revel in their success.
It was a good day. We're going to the Super Bowl, man. You got to be happy now.
The Patriots dominated the game from the first possession to the last as receivers set records, putting the Steelers far behind them.
Everyone just believes and everyone buys in, and no one really cares who gets the ball or what the stats are or anything like that. It's not really about an individual. We just go out and play.
The best interest of the team has been a priority for the Patriots all season long. Players said it's what's made them successful.
It's been a long journey, but, I've worked really hard to get to this point, and, I'm just, couldn't be happier that I get to be a part of this, this team, this whole thing.
And play they did, scoring 4 touchdowns, 3 field goals, and holding the Steelers to a single-digit score until late in the fourth quarter. The performance earned high praise from the team's hard-shelled head coach.
Yeah, and that's why we're where we are. We have a special team, a special group of guys that really work hard, and they deserve the success that they've had. It's tough, but they come in and grind it out, and we're excited to move on.
The Patriots will face the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl in Houston, Texas on Sunday, February 5th. Jennifer Courier, NH1 News.
At Hampton Beach, lifeguards will keep swimmers from wading in past their knees at least through Thursday. That's the official directive. And we're expecting temperatures in the 90s. The sun is out today, but the beach is pretty quiet.
Forecasting that we're going to get a lot of rain and heavy winds, and we didn't see any of that. So people probably held off a little bit, thinking it wouldn't be a great beach day.
Red flags warn swimmers of strong rip currents and a vicious undertow. At Rye Beach, there were no lifeguards on duty and just a couple of brave souls in the water.
How does it feel to be in the waves? It's very strong. There's a lot of rip currents out there.
But my son will be surfing here at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. This is what he dreams for.
I think they could match a California surf day any day. They're pretty outrageous, actually, today.
The extraordinary waves brought serious surfers out to other beaches north of Hampton, but it wasn't a good day for the surf shops.
I've got a lot of calls of people asking to rent boards, and I can't rent them because it's just too much liability to rent a board in stormy conditions.
The owner of the next door restaurant is not too pleased with her mien.
What is it? Some clouds and some wind for us, some choppy seas. That's all we got out of it.
Charter boats had to stay in. Charter fisherman Captain Don was disappointed.
I didn't want to take a chance, so I canceled the fishing trip and came down midday yesterday and found out it was really nice, and I was really impacted. I could have gone, so I lost out.
But there are plenty of storm watchers, and they're flocking to watch the waves here.
They're huge.
Do you wish you could go swimming today?
Yeah.
I know you just got a wetsuit too, but I said not in those waves, right?
So you just got a wetsuit and you can't go swimming today? Yeah. Oh, bummer!
Yeah. I think it's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
It's awesome. I love weather. I love the big swells, and it's amazing that there's some kite surfers behind us. So yeah, this is what we do.
But the show will go on tonight. The Reminiscents are scheduled to take the stage at 8 o'clock. Reporting from Hampton Beach, I'm Gail Huff, NH1 News.
Football season right around the corner, and the UNH Wildcats are ready to hit the turf in their brand new stadium. NH1's Siobhan Lopez has more from Media Day.
One more time, 1, 2. Posing for team photos and talking to reporters. It's all part of Media Day at UNH as the program looks forward to a new season.
Very, very good physical strength, gotten stronger and faster. There's a high energy around the program right now.
I'm just trying to get better. Obviously, my teammates are trying to get better. We're just trying to form the best team that we can.
We're really bringing each other along, especially the younger guys, and we're going to need everybody this year.
And this season, the Wildcats have one more reason to look forward to a home game, a beautiful brand new stadium.
It's a great feeling knowing that we're going to have a lot of people here, and it's already a great environment. This is only going to make it better.
The new Wildcat Stadium is years in the making, with the first demolition happening last spring.
Traditionally, we've played really well here at home, and I hope that continues.
Struggled on the road last year, and Coach Mack really prides ourselves on being good on the road as well as being good here. So just getting the first one on the road is the biggest for us. It's the next one, so it's the big one.
And while there's a lot of excitement surrounding the new digs, the team looks forward to passing tradition down to the younger guys.
Deep down in our hearts, from I've learned from the guys in the past, this place is the dungeon, and it'll always be the dungeon to whoever comes here.
The Wildcats kick off their season September 3rd on the road at San Diego State University. Their first home game in the new stadium is the following week as they take on Holy Cross. In Durham, Siobhan Lopez, NH1 News.
I've developed such a deep affection for this state, and let me just tell you, you're going to be very, very happy if I win.
Donald Trump back in the crucial battleground state of New Hampshire for the second time this month. Speaking in front of a large crowd at the Armory in Manchester's Radisson Hotel, the Republican presidential nominee firing away at Hillary Clinton. Charging big donors to the Clinton Foundation got special access.
More than half of the meetings Hillary Clinton took as Secretary of State with people outside government were Clinton Foundation donors.
Earlier, I asked Trump about his own connections to the foundation.
You donated over $100,000 to the Clinton Foundation. When she was Secretary of State, were you trying to pay to play?
Not at all, but I will say this. Anything you do when you donate to that foundation, they do whatever you want them to do, and I think it's disgraceful. And some of my friends said, how about making a donation? I said, why not? You know, and as a businessman, I must tell you, you make a contribution. I didn't do it for that reason. It was nothing I had in mind, but I will say they liked me a lot. They liked me a lot. And if I didn't make that contribution, they probably wouldn't have liked me at all.
Senator Kelly Ayotte wasn't at the Trump event. The Republican incumbent, who's facing a tough re-election challenge from Democratic Governor Maggie Hassan, has kept her distance from the GOP nominee.
Senator Ayotte not here today. She says she'll vote for you, but she says she's not endorsing you. Do you think she's making the wise choice?
I don't know. I mean, she's going to have to make her own decision. That's okay.
Coming up, what Trump told me about Al Baldessaro's controversial comments. In Manchester, I'm NH1 News political director Paul Steinhauser.
There's a heightened sense of urgency, and we're going to go out and try to do the best we can.
The playoffs are once again coming to Gillette Stadium this weekend as the Patriots take on their first postseason opponent. NH1's Jennifer Courier has more on what the team is up against.
The field is set for the New England Patriots to start their playoff run in just 2 days with a divisional round matchup against the Houston Texans. Now, the odds may be in the Patriots' favor, but it's no surprise. The team is taking this game as seriously as any other.
You have an understanding of you lose, you go home.
The Patriots' playoff record at home is 18-4, and this weekend they'll look to improve that by one more game and get one step closer to the Super Bowl with a victory over the Texans. But for the team, Saturday's game is as important as all the others.
Every game's a do-or-die situation. I mean, there's no gimmies in this league. I'm not saying the regular season is the same as the postseason. It's not. But as far as decision-making, I mean, you always try to make good decisions.
So far, good decisions have guided the Patriots to a 14-2 record. One of those wins included a Week 3 shutout victory over the Texans. Still, the Patriots are preparing for a very serious competitor.
There's a lot of focus and attention, and you're putting a lot of concentration into each play because you're not promised next week.
But some couldn't help but look forward to what's ahead.
It's going to be electric. The fans, the stand, everyone is going to be like really into it.
We had a good week of preparation, and it's all about playing well.
It's where it's at. Honestly, it's fun, and we're ready for it.
If the Patriots win on Saturday, they'll either take on the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Kansas City Chiefs here at Gillette for the AFC Championship. But as Bill Belichick would say right now, we're focused on Houston. In Foxborough, I'm Jennifer Courier, NH1 News.
Holiday tree, that's what it's officially called in Portsmouth, one of more than a dozen Granite State communities where officials avoid using the word Christmas.
I guess I call it a holiday tree, just because of, the times and stuff.
We went to Dover, where we found holiday gifts, holiday pies, and holiday fairs advertised. Well, you might think they have a holiday tree, but no, their officials call it a Christmas tree.
Stick with Christmas trees.
Just a Christmas tree.
Same thing, Christmas tree.
What do you call it?
Christmas tree.
You call it a holiday tree?
Christmas tree.
What about you?
Christmas tree.
Never call it a holiday tree?
Never.
No, it's Christmas. It's a Christmas tree.
Really wouldn't be offended if anyone called it a Christmas tree, I suppose. But I know some people might be.
Following a 5-century-old German custom, the decorated evergreen was introduced in America by a Harvard professor in 1832. Now even couples can't agree on what to call it.
Christmas tree. Yeah.
Yeah, holiday tree. Holiday.
Did you say holiday?
Yeah.
I say Christmas.
I am not a Christian. I am not of any denomination. I think the whole thing is silly. Since I was a little girl, it's a Christmas tree.
Durham town officials might dispute that. They're calling it their holiday tree.
If you want to be politically correct, I guess holiday tree.
The pine tree right there? Yeah, a Christmas tree.
All right, what about you?
A Christmas tree. Same thing.
You wouldn't call it a holiday tree?
No, I wouldn't.
What do you think about the political correctness of calling it a holiday tree?
It's all gone now.
Oh, why?
Because Trump is about to be the president, and you don't have to. You can say Merry Christmas.
We might be seeing some changes now with the new president coming in. You may recall on the campaign trail, his son Eric often talked about his father deciding to run for office after the White House renamed their Christmas tree a holiday tree. In Portsmouth, Gail Huff, NH1 News.